Theresa May met today with an impressive list of senior executives from companies including Amazon, Mars and General Electric. Well, will her charm offensive win them over? I'm joined from Indianapolis by Erin Huntington, who is Vice President of International Affairs at the US-based firm Eli Lilly, which is one of the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies, and by John Dickerman, who is head of the CBI in Washington. Well, John, let me start with you. You've got your ear to the ground in Washington. What are you hearing from American business right now?
Well, I think the one thing that we hear consistently from American business is what we hear consistently from British business, which is transparency and consistency going forward on business regulations and relationships is very important.
Right. So how easy do you think it's going to be for Britain to cut a bilateral trade deal with the UK, given that, I mean, Mr. Trump seems more keen on tearing up a lot of the trade deals that America's got going at times?
Well, I think first and foremost, no trade deal is easy to accomplish. But secondly, what we should be looking at, instead of looking at a specific bilateral trade deal, is probably looking at areas where we can converge our economies in the short term, look for quick wins, quick successes, where the US and UK can actually bolster the already strong economic relationship that they share.
Well, Erin, let me bring you in at this point. Eli Lilly, you employ 2,500 people here in Britain. Do you think you'll have more or less than that in 5 years' time?
Well, let me start by saying Lilly is delighted to be in the UK. We've invested there since the 1930s, and right now we have research and development facility, manufacturing facility as well. So I think our most important message is we want Britain to be open for business and open for a very strong life sciences sector in the future.
And are you confident that, on the basis of what you're hearing, Erin, that will carry on?
Well, I feel we've had very good dialogue and discussion with British stakeholders and decision makers, and we believe that there's a real willingness to understand the need for transparency, for cooperation, and for good transitional discussions if this deal moves forward.
Are you calling for a transition period then when the UK leaves the EU? How long do you think that transition period should be?
I can't speculate on that. What I can say is we want a smooth transition. And for us, the most important thing is that patients can get good access to medicines and that they don't have any sort of delay or any kind of challenges to their care. So that's very important to us as we look forward to the future.
So what sort of things would make Lilly invest more in Britain and employ more people here?
Well, what I can say is we have a strong investment now. A couple of things that make the UK a good place to invest is their openness, is the talent that's there, the ability to do clinical research. We want to see those things continue. We want to see a good environment for innovation so that patients can get access to medicines.
And what do you hear from your peers elsewhere in the pharmaceutical industry on that front?
Well, I haven't spoken to all of them directly, but I believe overall as a biopharmaceutical industry, we would agree that we want to see the UK remain a strong place for investment and for growth, and really, again, for a life sciences sector that can bring new medicines to patients.
John, what do you think about the current mood music that's coming out of the UK government? We've just heard from our colleague Beth Rigby there about potential tensions between Boris Johnson, the Foreign Secretary, and Theresa May, the Prime Minister. Is that flickering on the radar much in the US, in the business community?
Well, I think it certainly does. I think it certainly does strike people. We hear everything on the news here. But I don't think it's a massive concern. I think the UK is such an important investment destination for the US and vice versa. We realize in both of our countries we have transitions going on right now that we need to overcome.
Presumably, I mean, there are other factors as well. I mean, Erin mentions the transition period just now, but I mean, there are fundamental factors like the exchange rate. And I mean, on that basis, the UK has become incredibly competitive over the last 12 months.
Yeah, there's no question. But at the same time, business isn't looking 12 months into the future. They're looking 12 years into the future. So kind of consistency going beyond the short term is very important for investment and for investment decisions.
All right, Erin, last word to you then. If you had Theresa May with you now, what would be the message that you'd give her?
I think the first thing I would say is don't lose this opportunity for the UK to really be open for business and to remain a great place to do clinical research and to be able to bring investments as we move forward to the future.
All right, Erin Huntington, John Dickerman, thanks both.
Thank you.